Alright, so the other application we use all the time is Illustrator. Again, we can go to New and then do the same thing. And to be honest with you, this is the greatest way to learn stuff. Is just, try out different things and get the workflow down pat before you even think about making stuff. So in this case, the document should be 1920 by 1080 to match my composition. Does that matter with vectors? We'll find out. Okay. In this case, it gives me a 1920 by 1080, but it has this, it's a film gate, it's called. Okay. And it shows my transparency. That's a nice thing about using the film one, not the paper one, because at least I could see what's transparent and what's not transparent. Again, we got layers, and let's say layer 1 has something on it. Again, this is the greatest way to learn. It's just try out simple, stupid things until you get workflow down. So put a blue circle on here, and then we'll make a layer, and we'll put something else on there. In this case, I want something that is dark blue. And let's save this out. Okay, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go down to the examples. I'm going to call this IL for Illustrator. This is an AI file, and I'm using the same type of Illustrator file that I do with After Effects, CS5 or CS6. It doesn't really matter what you use. It's just like you got to just match that stuff. Alright, though, import file, and then let's go to IL. And again, what kind do you want to import? A composition or footage? And we went through this. Footage is either just whatever layer. What layer? Or composition, meaning both layers. If we double click on here, we got both of them. And when we zoom in, you'll find that we can zoom in an incredible amount to get to the point where it finally sawtooths. Okay, these are not vectors. These are still raster things. So you got to realize that. The nice thing about using Illustrator things over Photoshop things is, look at this shape has a nice center point. A very nice center point. Same with this one. It has a very nice center point. Again, let's import the other one, file, and let's import Photoshop HR into a composition, and then let's look at that. Okay, so here's my Photoshop HR. When I click on this, I don't have a natural center point because this is a raster document. And same with the yellow one. I don't have that. Even when I go to the certain background, I don't have that. So that's the difference between using Photoshop and Illustrator. If you're making something out of shapes, it is nicer to have Illustrator as the shapes. That way you can move, rotate, and scale them, and they have a natural pivot point. Alright, so that's the two compared to next to each other, and that's the very basics of it. Let's move on.